Get ready to be jolted out of the ordinary and into a world where conversations are charged with intensity and facts. The Lightning Strike Talk Radio with your host, Mohammed Fahim, broadcasting live from the heart of the city on Chicago's Progressive Talk Radio, WCPT 820 AM. Welcome to a radio show that charges through the airwaves with an electricity like no other. Here's your host, Mohammed Fahim.
Thank you so much, Hassan, for joining us. And speaking of candidates, folks, we have Anabel Mendoza joining us this morning. And Anabel, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. And she is running for the 7th district in Illinois.
Good morning. Hi, everybody. Good to be here.
Well, thank you so much for joining at such short notice. I know that we've been trying to connect with each other. How's the campaign going, Anabel?
It's going really well. Very exciting. Like most races, it's a packed days, lots of going all around the district. So today I feel very grateful to be on this radio show with everybody here. I was listening into some of the other guests. Tracy Sanders Campbell, sounds like you're doing tremendous work. So I can't wait to hopefully connect about that more. That sounds amazing, especially coming from a media background. It sounds like you're doing really wonderful work. But the race itself is going excellent. We have, even today, right after this, I'm going with Reverend Robin Hood to different churches across the South Side. So, making the most out of this beautiful Sunday that we have, and hopefully not so chilly weather. So,
well, it's going to be in the 40s and the 50s this week. So
I know, we're lucky. This is spring for us.
One thing which I hate though is I want a white Christmas. Okay. So we had a pre-Christmas snowstorm.
That might be overrated. We get a lot of slush. It quickly turns to slush here in Chicago.
Okay. So, Anabel, why Congress right off the bat? What prompted you? What said, hey, I want to get in there? We all keep hearing about, we need to drain the swamp. It is not so much a swamp. It is a sewer out there now. Okay. And we need young people like you to come in and make these changes. Everyone that is out there, Murray Newman, my co-host in the second hour, former congresswoman, has said openly on the air with us many times that 80 to 85% of our lawmakers, and I'm using the term very loosely, have sold their soul to the devil. Okay. They have handlers, they have lobbyists, APAC, blah, 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 and all of that. They're not making laws for us. So how do you want to counter that?
Yeah, well, right off the bat, I'll just say that I was born and raised here in Chicago, and I'm running in a district that is very personal to me. I grew up on the southwest side of the city in West Lawn in a proud working class Latino and immigrant family. I saw what my parents had to go through. I had wonderful childhood memories because that was what my parents wanted me to have, but it was also them hiding what were the struggles that they were going through, financial hardship that even millions of families today are still going through. You would think that, in the 20 years since then, now that I'm an adult, things would be better for families. It's not. In fact, it is actively getting worse. At one point, my family had just $9 left and 3 little kids to feed under the age of 10. That is not sustainable for any household. And so it did mean that my parents had to go without dinner some nights so that I could get that food instead. And when I'm out there talking to voters, that resonates with them because they also have felt that strain. And in fact, they're feeling it squeezing them and squeezing them and squeezing them. And many people are also, staring down the barrel of rising healthcare premiums that are going to crush families across this country. We are also we're not in normal times. I think everyone on this call knows that. And when we have a president who is threatening a third term, we absolutely need to take that threat seriously. And we can't afford to lose in this moment. We need young leaders. That's how my parents and generations before me, that's how they raised us. That's how they raised the young people to be brave. we're stepping up. We're saying, you know what, we're not going to wait around to be saved. We're going to go out there. We're going to try to do good. We're going to try to serve the communities and make sure that we are fighting back against what's happening. Because if we don't do it, who else will? I mean, clearly, as you said,
Yep.
we can't wait for other electeds to do it.
And most of the time, this is what I keep on telling folks, that we say it is a government of the people, by the people, for the people. Heck, we are the people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Not this career politicians out there.
Yes.
You know, you're supposed to come in, do your civic duty, and go
Yep.
back and do your farming. That's how the system was set up. And now we got people in Congress for the rest of their life, in the
Right.
Senate, in their 80s and 90s.
Right.
These guys have no idea about legislation. Tracy, you want to say something?
Oh no, I was agreeing wholeheartedly
Yeah.
that there should be a, for lack of a better word, time period for
Mhm.
service because you become
Yes.
a little
There
out of
should be,
touch with what's
there
happening.
Absolutely.
should be a limit, on how many terms you can. Term limits should be
Exactly.
mandatory.
Absolutely.
Right.
I completely agree. I believe in term limits, and I believe that part of leadership that we need to turn the page on, and what I'm hoping to bring to a position like this is to be able to mentor other young people to see that leadership is possible for them too, right? This isn't one of those things where you get in and then you slam the door behind you.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is how we can continue to lift other young people up, because the truth is many in my generation are very politically active, but also feel a lot of hopelessness with the current state of our country. It's time to reinvigorate that hope, and it's also time to make sure that in the past, what has failed in our politics is that people, one, stay in office for too long, but they also don't mentor who comes next, right? They don't make sure that that is a path to leadership. And we need to invest in that, because this isn't about one person or one seat. It's really about the future of our political system and how do we want to change that culture.
Absolutely. And, in progressive circles, we definitely talk about it that our leadership, our political leadership, party leadership, they need to get their act together. I'm sorry, they've been sitting on
No,
their behinds for too long.
Yeah.
no,
And then they bring in people through the system and
yes,
they shove it down our throat and say, oh,
yes,
sorry, Kamala Harris lost the election. Yeah, Kamala Harris should not have even, run for presidency at such short notice. There could have been other candidates. There should have been a primary. And that is what we need to change also. It's not so much the young part of it. People need to change their thinking. Annabelle, thank you so much. How do people get to find out more about you?
absolutely. You can go to my website, annabelleforcongress.com. That's the best way to get involved and stay engaged. But very excited for this race. And thank you all for having me. I feel very honored to be among such brilliant minds and to spend
Yeah.
this morning with you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. And
Of
yeah,
course.
all the best. And do keep in touch. We have the forums coming up in January. So where we will invite candidates from all different areas, from distant districts to come. And you know, let the listeners know who you are so that people can make an informed decision on that. On that
Absolutely.
note, Read Bible, good morning, Reed.
Good morning.